Stroke touches the lives of hundreds of thousands of Canadians each year. However, stroke is not a uniquely Canadian problem. It affects millions worldwide. In Canada, every 9 minutes someone has a stroke, but on the global level, every 6 seconds someone is rushed to the hospital because of a stroke. This obviously has major financial implications. In 2010, the Canadian government spent $2.5 billion on stroke-related treatment. Europe annually spends almost $65 billion to deal with the stroke crisis. We're spending billions on treatment, but how much help are we actually getting? 85% of stroke patients will experience upper limb weakness, and even with formal physiotherapy, 3 to 6 months down the line, 65% will still have arm weakness, even though they fully followed their treatment plan. But poor compliance is very common among patients. Besides physiotherapy, there are products available to help patients. However, these products are extremely expensive, bulky, and even intimidating to some. Even if you disregard these factors, these devices are not always accessible because they require custom fitting and the patients need to travel to certain clinics. But these devices are only an assist. Patients want to actually recover. Imagine you wake up one morning and you're no longer able to brush your own hair, that you need someone to feed you. This is an unfortunate reality for millions across the globe. But during our research, we have come across the technique of electrical stimulation, which is essentially sending safe levels of electrical impulses to your muscles. We have found hundreds of research papers that support the use of electrical stimulation as stroke therapy.
And this is where we come in with our adaptive electrical stimulation device, which is a sleek sleeve that fits on most people and will give the user not only more mobility, but it would optimize their path to recovery. This device will be synced to the patient's phone and also to a cloud that will give doctors and physicians the access to data. And how it works is basically we show it here, where in the upper left graph here we have a muscle potential of someone with myopathy, and the lower bottom here we have a healthy potential, and you can see they're quite different, and we can actually track these differences, and we can apply a potential with the electrode stimulation that will give the patient a more healthy, normal muscle potential, therefore performing the action. And what they would see is basically the raw data, where we can see how the muscle potential reacted to our given potential and their overall progress over the weeks or months, where like how close were they to a healthy potential or a normal potential, and the doctors would see an even more in-depth version of this. So the hardware is shown here. We get the proof of concept sort of on the left here, which is kind of bulky and whatnot. But we do have the hardware prototype where it's being condensed and made into a more smart and portable format. But we have all the hardware there to make this happen.
With our device, we hope to help real people like Steve here. Steve wants to be able to play guitar again, but more importantly, he wants to move out of his parents' basement. Now that we're done with science, let's move on to business. Our plan is to do assembly internally and outsource any non-proprietary components. We will begin our launch in private clinics, then move to an online platform to reach self-diagnosed patients, and then we will develop a sports edition of our device to reach out to the athletes. This will be a one-time purchase of our device where clients will have free access to our app, and we will develop a cloud-based platform for the clinics. This is our game plan for the next coming years. We'll be spending the next 2 years on prototype development, then moving on to human trials, then scaling up to manufacturing and launching in North America. This is our team working behind the curtains, making the magic happen. We are Neuro Amel Technologies.